The views expressed on this program are those of the producers and individuals appearing on this program and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Sun Prairie Media Center staff, its video service providers, or the staff and elected officials of the City of Sun Prairie.
You are now listening to the Allen and DJ Show on 103.5 FM WLSP-LP, Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. We're here to talk about self-improvement, lifestyle, and becoming the very best version of yourself.
You're now listening to the Allen and DJ Show.
Yo, Milwaukee, Sun Prairie, and all the surrounding areas. Y'all know what time this is, man. It's time for the Allen and DJ Show. And of course, I'm Allen.
And this is your boy, DJ.
DJ, what's going on, my dirty?
I'm doing good, man. How about you?
I'm good, man. I just had a lot on my mind lately, DJ. Had a lot on my mind, man. You know, Bambi stressing me out. You know, she want to move into this other new house. And I'm like, I like where we at now. You know, because then if I move into this new house, that's way far on the boondocks, I'm going to have to change my job. And then I like where I'm at. You know, then I'm going to have to change a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Then I'm going to have to change my gym. But I don't know. You know, and she told me, like, stop being scary all the time. And I'm like, I'm not scary. Like, you can ask DJ. Hell, you can ask William J. Smith. You know what I'm saying? The third. Nah, I'm just playing, bro.
Don't do that.
But you know, like man, I don't know, man. You know, it just. She said sometimes, you know, like you just fear of changing things around you. You fear, dog. Oh wow, bro. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
Because this was brought to me the other day as well, and I said, hey, I could talk about that because I could relate as well because I ain't going through the same thing. So let's talk about the reasons for the fear of change.
Okay.
Now, DJ, when it comes to the fear of change, like let's talk about bullet point number 1, the fear of the unknown.
Okay. First of all, like we live in a society where like people want results, and they want a sure thing in order to get through their particular plan or their situation. And if for some reason that gets derailed, then they're in a panic.
Oh yeah, big time, man. You know, because people used to a certain way of doing things and you know a certain style of doing things, and that's all they know. And sometimes when it comes to the fear of known, it could be uncertainty, like. Okay, I don't know what this change gonna entail. Like, change could intensely involve stepping into the unknown, which can trigger anxiety and worried about the potential of like negative outcomes. Like, cause you don't know what's gonna become of what. Like, you like, dude, if I go here, what if they don't like me? Or this job could be a little too challenging for me, and I don't know if I can handle this job.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I would like to think that I can, but I don't know if I can. So then here we go.
Yeah. Basically, it's one of those things where like you have to really rely on faith and the belief in God, in which sometimes that could be a scary thing because like if it ain't in front of you or if it ain't shown in plain sight, then that could be a scary thing because you don't know if God got your back, or if you go on faith and you end up going through that situation and you fail, then you question his existence. So an example of that would be like going into a room blind. So when you go into a room blind, you're blindfolded and you're basically helpless, and you have to basically get through the other side of the room relying on either your other senses, relying on faith, or relying that somebody else is pushing you in the right direction.
And you know, like that could just be a scary thing at times. And then even with falling into bullet point number 2, the fear of like losing control.
Yeah.
Now, DJ, tell me how you feel about this when it comes to losing control, or maybe like a fear of losing control when it comes to changes and outcomes. When it comes to even the fear of change,
like with like I'm gonna go along with like a lot of people, and a lot of people like just like I am. Like sometimes I want to be able to have control over everything that I do, and when I don't, like sometimes it's hard for me to like adjust to those particular changes.
I agree. You know, like when it comes to loss of control, you know, like you feel like, dang, you know, like I can't control nothing that's going on around me because so much is happening at one time. And people may feel like they're losing control over their lives or their future or facing changes, which leading into feelings of helplessness and powerless. Like they feel powerless in their situation because it's like, dude, I can't do nothing about it. Like this is changing her, man. She really want to leave.
Yeah.
And I have to go with my family, right?
Yeah.
So I feel powerless and I feel helpless in this situation because I don't know what to do. I don't know who to turn to or who I can try to talk to try to convince this person that, hey, this is not the move right now.
Absolutely. But also the reason why like people have a hard time with this bullet point is because like it causes you to adapt on the fly, and genetically and as a human, we're not built to do that.
No.
Like we're built to have structure. We're built to be comfortable. We're built to, but we're not built to adapt to our surroundings. Like it's not like we're animals or anything like that. Where if the conditions change, they change with the conditions.
No, for real, man. Like, you know, that's not always, you know what I'm saying, good to, you know, feel like, you know, you losing a sense of control of everything in your life because you may feel like that, but in all actuality, sometimes, you know, change is good. You know, you just got to be willing to embrace the change, and which brings me into bullet point number 3, the fear of failure.
Oh, that's a good one.
And that's one of the ones that I struggle with because I hate to fail.
Oh, yeah, you definitely do.
And, you know, to me, when it comes to failing, bro, it's like the unknown that can lead to a fear of failing, whether if it's at an individual's, like, okay, so let's say if an individual is like unsure and about their abilities, like they unsure about their abilities to like lead a basketball team or a football team, or we'll say maybe or maybe like certain situations at work, right? New situations to achieve can like desire beautiful outcomes, but I might be pumped up and ready. I'm like, hey, yo, DJ, man, I'm pumped. Dude, man, we about to do this. D might be like, man, I don't know, man. Bro, like, man, don't you think we should look at it like this? And then I'm like, dude, DJ, you know how good you are? Like, bro, like, you the best one in this room. Dirty, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? So it could be, for an example, DJ have a fear of failing. It could be a fear of failing to, man, like, this is a big task that you asked us to do. Let's say we might be have to film 7 TV shows in a row. I don't know if I have all that in me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I get it done, but, man, that's a lot. Absolutely. To me, I might feel like I can, so it's a fear of me of like, man, we don't do this, man. We gonna slip out of our number one spot and fall behind, and you know.
Absolutely. Basically, like everybody, like even everybody here right now, like we don't want to fail at things, man. And every time you fail at things, or at least I know every time I fail at something that I know that I worked my butt off at, a piece of me is broken, or it makes me feel miserable because I couldn't accomplish that particular goal.
Yeah. No, like, man, I know that feeling. And I know that all too well because I'll be hard on myself. Sometimes I give myself anxiety because I want things to be so perfect. Okay. They're like, I can hear a coach at work right now, slow your butt down. Calm down. Like, not everything going to be perfect right away, man. You got to crawl before you walk. Mm-hmm. Which is also, this could perfect you as well, which is bullet point number 4. This can affect you big time. Mm-hmm. Performance for a routine.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the reason why I say this, DJ, is because some people used to comfort and familiarity. Mm-hmm. So break that down for us, DJ.
Basically, like, people so used to being predictable. They love to have like established patterns, or like they love to like actually be in control. So because they're in control, what they can do is basically like read easier for them to read themselves. It's easier for them to adjust to the situation, and it's easier for them to have control over the situation.
I mean, you're going to set that on better, DJ. And it's true because people often have routines and habits that provide a sense of comfort and security, right? Mm-hmm. But when it comes to change, it can disrupt their routines and make them feel uncomfortable and insecure.
Absolutely.
Because I'm so used to doing certain things a certain way, of getting up at a certain time, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, I can get up at 5:30, take me a 25, 30-minute shower, get myself together, get up out the house by like 6:40. I'm at work. I'm all good. Now, your new job might demand a little bit more. You might have to be here even earlier.
Yep.
So now it's a fear of change. It's a fear of uncertainty. And then now I'm way out here out of my comfort zone. So that could bring insecurities. Like, man, do I fit in? I don't know. Why he looking at me like that? You know, do you like me or something? Or like, man, like, you know, like, do Dirty want to beef? What's up? You know? And it's like, dude, calm down. But I can get that at the same time because, you know, like the routine changed.
Absolutely. And also, the routine basically keeps you structured, but when you're unpredictable, like, you're hard to read. So like when your routine is unpredictable, it's hard to read the situation, or hard to read and react and adjust to the situation because you're so used to everything being structured. Like, do this, do that. Now it's like it's like number 1, number 2, number 3. But instead of number 1, number 2, number 3, it's number 1, number 3, number 4, number 2. And you like, hey, dude. Right. Now you the jump steps, bro.
And then like I even noticed when it gets to the winter times, like some people take their showers at night.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's cool, but for me, I can't do that. You know, like I take mine at night, but I have to take one in the morning too. Because you gotta get that sleep smell off of you. But, you know, a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, like that's what they do, but then their routines change because the weather change, and yeah, it gets crazy. But then let's talk about bullet point number 5, DJ, and this is a really, really good one.
Oh, yeah.
Like, clinging to the unknown.
Absolutely. This is
so why do a lot of people do that? Why do a lot of people cling to the unknown?
Like, first of all, like, people have a hard time, like, stepping outside of their comfort zone and into a situation where they don't have all the answers.
I like that.
Absolutely. But like also like what it can do, like clinging to the unknown, like what it can provide if you step into that is basically it could provide growth, new opportunities and more challenges, which can heighten the tendencies to resist change. Because
people go right back to their comfort zone in so many words.
Absolutely.
That's how I like to look at it. You know, like even when things are not like ideal, people may cling to the familiarity because it provides them a sense of comfortability and also gives them a sense of safety because this is what I know. So I'm going to go over here because I like sitting in this spot because this is all I know. But when it gets uncomfortable and it's time for me to maybe move up in leadership and move up in a different position in life, this is challenging. This is different. I don't know if I'm ready for this. But let me just go back to just doing this right here because this is where I'm comfortable at.
Yeah.
So that's just like being a bagger, or a cashier at the grocery store forever.
Yeah.
But you might have all the capabilities in the world to be in management. And they say, hey, you know what? Like, I think you'll make a great, like a great lead, or, you know, I think you'll make a great manager of a department. But they see what other people went through in the past, and they automatically put that fear into their mind, and they don't want to change.
Absolutely. And like when it comes down to clinging to the unknown, like when you don't know what's going to happen or you don't know the results of anything, it naturally just makes you panic, or it naturally puts you in a discomfortable position because like you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
Like if I do step out and take a chance, will I make it? If I don't, then I don't have to go through that anxiety.
Exactly. And then, like, you know, a fear of losing control, which is like what we talked about in bullet point number 2 when it came to losing control.
Oh, that's a rough one, dude.
So when, you know, bullet point 6, when we talk about the fear of losing control, change can disrupt the sense of control that individuals have over their lives, which lead into feelings of anxiety and fear. Mm-hmm. Because then it's like, I gotta move to San Francisco, but Mom, I ain't ready. Mom, like, I don't want to leave all my friends, man. And I like the schools that I'm at. Oh my God! Then start go to panicking. We with you. Calm down, my G. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it does happen though. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's, man, you asking a lot, because that's a big move, man.
Absolutely.
That's a big move. Like. And that can make you feel like like I'm losing fear and control, because let's say if your parents are making a decision for you, then you're not in control of your own life.
Absolutely. And also, like, with fear of losing control, is like people want to have control over their lives. And when they lose that control, it basically changes like their mindset. So it means like their mindset is automatically shifting to like a different direction, without them shifting it into their own direction at their own particular moment, because they don't have control over their mind being shifted, because the decision was already weighed without them even like having a thought process to have it be weighed.
For sure. And then what that brings on, which is I want to jump to number 7. And it can bring on anxiety and stress.
Absolutely.
Because change can be significant stressor that leads into anxiety and worrying about like so many different tasks and multitasking things that you have to do that can lead it to, and also it can start manifesting into physical symptoms.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, you're right. It like basically like change can heighten stress and anxiety basically, because if something goes wrong in your plan, it adds stress, and if it keeps going wrong, then the stress builds up.
Big time. And, like sometimes, like, you have to learn how to get out of your own head. Mm-hmm. Like, I used to go through this a lot last year. I was always in my own head. People getting the best of me. People getting in my mind. People was controlling my mind because they knew what to say. Certain things that can make me go off the edge, And I remember, DJ used to tell me all the time, bro, they do this to get a reaction out of you.
Absolutely.
And, I used to be so stressed, like anxiety, stress. Like some of the girls at work used to mess with me all day long, man. And Will used to be like, bro, you got to stop giving in to that. Mm-hmm. And it was easier said than done, because I try. And when they know that you try harder, then they're going to try more harder. And they're going to do things that now, so he's trying to outgrow us. So then the physical symptoms get a little bit more heightened, or they say more heightened things to you. And I care not to go into that, but that's when you really see what you made of. Can you ignore that?
Yeah. With anxiety and stress, like what happens is like when you're in control, you don't have none of those symptoms. Them symptoms only come when you're out of control. Exactly. And when you're out of control, sometimes it can actually change your character. Meaning like, you used to be this way, but now because of the change in that situation, it added stress and anxiety to your life. Now, all of a sudden, your character is real different. Now you're acting like a real sissy. At first, you was acting like a real tough guy, but then all of a sudden that stress and anxiety came into your life. Now you're like a little punk.
Yeah, man, that's true. Hey, man, we got to call it how it is. And then also, which is I like this one right here with bullet point number 8. Let's get into triggering my past experiences, because this is true. Yeah. Now, when it comes to the fear of change, what can trigger DJ probably past experiences that people may have experienced in the past?
Yeah. Like sometimes, like when people take a chance on something in the past and they failed at it, then that can have a triggering effect. But it can also be triggered by watching other people fail at the same thing that you want to do, and they probably better at you at that particular thing.
Yeah, sure. Anybody gonna be better than me, because like I'm all working, dog. I'm sorry. That's just the Leo in me. I was finna hey, but like DJ said that, like, man, I'm already getting into competitive mode. Like, gonna be better than us. And bro, no way. There ain't no way.
Sleep and everything.
Yep.
I lose sleep to get this, man. But nah, like you're right though, DJ, because triggering past experiences change can sometimes bring on triggering negative memories and past experiences that could lead into other further anxiety and fear. Mm-hmm. So let's say if you went through something really traumatizing last year, And now this year you're kind of going through somewhat similar of the same thing. It can trigger those experiences, and you might be like, oh man, dog, bro, here it go again. It's like, dude, calm down, bro. Like, it's not last. Hey, bro, man, I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah.
Dog, triggering experiences.
Absolutely. And then like sometimes when it comes down to like triggering like past experience, it's crazy because it can come from like a million of things. Or like for an example, like let's say you done worked out and stuff like that, and you try out for like a show called like American Ninja Warrior or something like that,
right.
And you see all these people like more in shape, they done worked out longer than you, and you see them fail at something like that, then you look at that and be like, man, I thought I was in shape, and this person looked like they've been in way better shape, and then they give you like the little backstory of like that person, and you see like, you be like, man, they went through a lot, or man, they got a lot of stuff going on, and they still end up failing that obstacle course, and you be like, yeah, I don't think I want to do that.
Exactly. And then, like triggering past experiences can make you feel, which is I'm gonna jump to 9, man. Like it can make you feel helpless.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because you feel helpless because you're like, dude, like I'm out of options here. Like I don't know what to do. Like it can be in a relationship, or you could be, but if it's a great friendship that can lead into sometimes you have to change. And, sometimes you have to change some things about yourself to make, how can I say this, compromising situations in your relationship. Or sometimes, it could be management change. And sometimes you might feel like, dude, I don't like this management team because they're not looking at things my way. And you can feel helpless at times. You might feel like to me, like a helpless individual may feel helplessness when they're overwhelmed by change, and particularly when it comes to like the outside of their control, because they used to having everything under control, right?
Yep.
Used to having things done your way. You was so proficient. Now that the work is maybe getting a little challenging and it's out of your control, you like, dude, I don't know what to do. Like I'm panicking here. I'm running from, like I'm losing options here. What do I do?
Yeah. Or basically like when it comes down to feeling helpless, like the lack of control makes people feel powerless and vulnerable.
Yeah.
And with that, it can also trigger negative emotions that can result from you giving up.
Man, that's so true. And like it can also bring a fear of loss now.
Absolutely.
Because with a fear of loss, I feel like change can involve sometimes losing something, or whether if it's a job, a relationship, or a sense of identity. Like you might have to change who you are as an individual to grow, to become the leader that you want to become. Sometimes things around you have to change. Sometimes you might have to change. Sometimes it takes a relationship to to just disassemble itself.
Mm-hmm.
And you could be like, I don't know what I did wrong in that relationship, but everything you go through, you should use it as a learning curve anyway.
Absolutely.
And most importantly, it could be a job. You've been so comfortable at this particular job for so long that now that you lost it, it's like a fear of loss now. You like, I don't know what to do. Like, how I'm going to survive out here.
Yeah.
Instead of me saying dirty, go look for another job.
And the crazy thing about this bullet point too is that with this, it's kind of like you have to rely on other people to get the job done, and if you're not used to that, then that's gonna definitely make you feel uncomfortable and discouraged at the same time, and it can also scare you at the same time. Like for an example, like you remember the movie Titanic?
Yeah.
Where like when the boat started to sink, like everybody started panicking and stuff like that. Like, and a lot of people couldn't swim, so like you really had to rely on other people to save you, instead of like relying on yourself.
Yeah,
and that could be a scary feeling, dude.
That's true. That's so true. That's why I say it's nothing wrong with having help in this world, but you should always try to learn some things for yourself, because it's nothing like you having you at the end of the day. And how can I help you if I can't learn how to help myself?
Mm-hmm.
Which brings me to the last bullet point: resisting to new challenges. So, like DJ, take us home with this one, man.
All right. Like basically with new challenges, it presents new opportunity, but you can't have that if you don't ever make a attempt to actually change. So when you make that change, that means that you're going to encounter some of these changes. But if you're scared of the new challenges, then of course you're going to be resistant to the changes. Or
like, in order to grow in this world, you have to learn how to sacrifice.
absolutely.
You have to learn how to change with the times. That's just like with new music or movies or anything that's out here, you know. You got the old heads sometimes being like, how y'all listen to this mumble jumble crap? I don't like it either. But you have to go with the times now. Like, you have to adapt to change. And a lot of people don't know how to adapt to change. Mm-hmm. So some people stuck in their old ways, but people have a lot of resistance when it comes to challenges and change, because change can require individuals to step outside of their comfort zone, which that's talked about that already.
Yep. And
now they have to take on new challenges, which can be very intimidating, because that's like you doing a certain role at your job. Like, you're doing the spreadsheets, you're doing the temp logs and all that. Now you have to step into a CEO type of position.
Yeah.
And you're like, yo, like, now everything falls on you. These numbers have to be right, everything. It can be uncomfortable, man. Mm-hmm. That's a scary feeling. Because if I fail, then I'm hurting a lot of families out here, because I'm knocking the way that you feed your family, and the way that you feed your family, and the way that you feed your family. So sometimes, you can have the pressures of the whole world on your back.
Absolutely. And the crazy thing about embracing new challenges too is that it helps you grow, man. And the reality is, don't nothing ever stay the same. No. Like our situation that we're in right now, we're not going to do this forever.
No.
Or the situations that we're in, like as far as like work related,
not going to do that forever.
We're not going to do that forever. And change is going to happen, and we got to be able to adjust and adapt to those particular changes.
Exactly. And it's important to remember that the fear of change is common, because it's a human experience. Everybody goes through it. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't necessarily mean that something could be unsuccessful or weak. It's just learning new values and learning with understanding that individuals can develop coping strategies that can help them learn how to embrace the new challenges and to embrace the new you. And I want to get into the Alan and DJ's final thought. So, DJ, what's your final thought that you want to tell the people when it comes to embracing the fear of change?
When it comes down to change, man, like, I know a lot of people look at it and say like they're missing out on, like, if they do change their life, like maybe they're missing out on something that could have happened if they would have stayed in the situation that they would have stayed in, or the fact that they're losing their old life to have a new life can scare a lot of people. Or you could lose a piece of yourself to change for the better, so you could adjust to your new lifestyle. But a lot of people are scared of that. But you have to do that if you want to get to where you need to get to in your life.
And I can agree with you more, DJ. Like I would say, face the fear of unknown. Face the fear of unknown in the face and look at it and say, okay, there's just another thing that there's just another challenge in my way on the quest to victory to get to the top. Be clingy to the unknown. You know what I'm saying? Take the stress and anxiety as a welcome, Mike. We talked about that on the last show. Welcome. Come on with it. And just be resilient, man. Just try to be I want to say, don't try to be too resistant to new challenges. Embrace them. Learn as much as you can. If you want to survive in this world and this great old country that we call America, you got to have a hustle, and you got to be able to get with it, and you cannot be afraid of change. And when you become not afraid of change, and you come to look change in the mirror and say the fear is gone, I embrace this, you just became the very best version of yourself. Now, this is the Alan and DJ Show. You can find us on YouTube at the Alan and DJ Show. You can find us at the Alan and DJ Show at gmail.com if you have any questions about what you want us to talk about next. And you can find us at the Alan and DJ Show on YouTube. And you can find my personal page, Alan Hutchinson, on Instagram and Facebook, and my dirty William J. Smith on Instagram and Facebook. And until next time, man, we ain't fear nothing. Because we made people fear the deer, just like my Bambi the deer. Because you know why? We gonna stay well. We gonna stay healthy.
Peace.